What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I was thinking of not uploading today, then I realized how expensive those movie tickets are to Black Panther, and I was like, let's do a market watch. But seriously, there's a few things going on, and then something I don't do so often anymore is make suggestions, and I've been staring at some cards that realistically are pushing themselves into the meta. We know are going to go up, yet they haven't. Dimensional Barrier is one of those, and it's sitting down at $364 for one unlimited copy before it quickly rises. And a lot of people are buying this card, and you might have noticed a lot of people are citing 3 because Pendulums are one of the decks to beat. And Dimensional Barrier, when you know you're going first against Pendulums, is a great card to draw that doesn't make you commit very much to the board. You just activate it, call Pendulum, and you're pretty well off against the deck. You're not getting OTK'd by any measure, you're feeling really good about it, and you're not getting evenly matched, more importantly. So Dimensional Barrier really seems to be slowly increasing. If we go, let's see, your first ed, Mint, wow, 333. And we continue to go through here. It's relatively cheaper on eBay, but it's been driving up on TCG Player. I want my audience to have a crack at it before it really explodes out there. So you guys who got to see this video, who got here early, grab yourself a set if you plan to be playing in the meta and plan to have something in your side deck against Pendulum Magicians, because this seems like a lot of people's go-to the card for it, even above the Floodgates. Next up, I just wanted to show kind of what Pendulums have settled at. Wisdom Eye has basically settled at $4 some odd, Astrograph Sorcerer at $4 about, and we see on eBay actually the SDMP versions are much cheaper. If you can stand not playing with the Pivo ones, and I just wanted to show you guys this also, you can save a bit of money by going for the SDMP ones. They are also super rare. I know there's a little bit of off difference compared to the other cards from Pivo that you'll be getting, Pendulum Evolution, but Wisdom Eye really doesn't look bad as a super rare out of the structure deck, and it's still a super, it's the same rarity. So you might want to consider saving yourself when you're getting a playset if you're buying online. We're going for the SDMP specifically, and so far on eBay it's cheaper right now, rather than perhaps dumping it all towards the Pivo version. Another thing to suggest, if I've been looking at Battles of Legend like a stock, it just keeps going on up. It has been surfing upwards for a while, and all the cards just seem to do that. But something I noticed especially, besides Double Evolution Pill, which has basically doubled in price, Anti-Spell Fragrance, as mentioned, has gone up as well, almost to the point of $4. And Danko's been trending up, maybe people getting ready to side deck against all those stun decks that have been mentioned about, preemptively getting ready for perhaps Paleozoics, which actually have taken a regional top in this season. Somebody messaged me saying they got second place with it. There's a lot going on in this meta that's diverse, and having your side deck prepared is pretty good. But this set as a whole, if we just continue to watch, almost everything keeps going up and up over time. Remember, this was $1 easy, this was $1 easy, this was $1 easy. These were all dollars, and they've gone up almost 50% or more. Giant Rex, of course, in demand because the dinosaur deck is hot. So if you just look at the set, you really want to get these cards that you might use in the future now. You do not want to wait. Now is the time to get these, and you'll look back on this 3 months, 6 months later, and all these prices, for the most part, will be up from where they are, because quantity is going to continue to deplete despite how open the set was, and vendors are going to eventually run out of it. A Double Evolution Pill is holding about that $4 price, all from Canada, before we get to US prices as well, sitting around the same. It seems to be double-ish from where I showed it last time, and people are really taking this deck seriously, and I think they should. I've watched it in action. It really does have chances to OTK through insane boards, and that's no joke. There might be consistency issues, but if you're not ready for it, it will take you out in the earlier rounds, and I'm sure it will be present in the later rounds as well, depending on who is piloting it. Danko Seka as well, just showing you it's at that $3 price point, and you could have got these for $1.70s just months ago. The final suggestion card here today. we've got rescue fare all the way down to $4. Remember how hyped this was when the BA Link was announced, and how hyped it was when we thought the BA Link was coming out? It's sitting at its lowest price point ever. I imagine this will respike once we get confirmation of a BA Link eventually, and you'll probably want to go for yours about right now. I can't see it going much lower. It's at its all-time low, and for a secret rare as good as it is, I think you'll want to get it now rather than later. So just something to consider there as well. I would say out of all my suggestions though, if you're short on cash, Dimensional Barrier is your best bang for your buck. The holo version, I could easily see it going back up to $10 during this format, like easily. It's a ridiculous card that's going to be in so many side decks. Now we're going more shifting from suggestions to archetype reviews in a sense. We've got bottom out prices on a lot of cards here still, like the Magical Musketeers. I don't think it's a great deck still. It definitely suffers its issues from being able to get commitment to the board. But something cool I noticed is Weather Painter Snow's at one of its all-time low prices, and the Six Samurais are starting to dip. So as you watch other meta things go crazy, all the cash is starting to flow into the meta as we enter Nat season. You can slowly pick off the decks that you've been waiting to go for. You can kind of just save your money if you're more of a casual player. You've seen hype prices on decks you really wanted to get earlier. They're gonna chill out here while the meta decks go really insane. So take your time. I don't know if this is the final bottom out price or not, but if you've been waiting, these are really great prices and the quantities are decently high. So you can take your time with this and make your decision with your cash, but it's kind of awesome to see these low prices on these unique decks that you could play with your friends. Like maybe have a kind of tournament where you ban the meta decks and you only have table 500 decks. That'd be pretty cool. We go over here. This just shows the demand for the Pendulum Magicians, still sitting around the $60 mark. And there's not too much odd besides Cerebus, if you weren't keeping up this week, how a lot of players are using this. But Inspector Border, I noticed, is starting to go up. We had seen it down towards $14. It's got a little $4 flick, and then only 8 prices available. Well, we come over to eBay, and it's a similar story, towards $19 and up. What happened? I'm pretty sure, I hate to blame you, Simo, but I'm pretty sure it's your video on how good this card was. And it's a really good card. I thought it was getting underestimated as it came out as well. And there's going to be a lot of stun decks attempting to get behind this card. Triple Thunder King, there's so much cool stun right now and so many ways to slow down the game. I'm super appreciative of it, and I think it's a great card that deserves a $20 price point as a secret rare. But a lot of stun players were waiting for that price to go down so that they could kind of snipe theirs off maybe at 10 apiece. No such luck. Merlin is up here as pointed out to me by somebody, but this has actually been up here for a while. I checked sold listings. The whole Noble Knight archetype has been up for a while, and I just wanted to say to those that maybe didn't see that market watch a while ago and revisit this, it stayed up in price surprisingly well. And I'm shocked because I don't buy into this archetype so much, but it has really kept up with its market prices overall and has stayed up here a ridiculous amount despite quantities refilling in. I personally think Isolde works better in other decks. I don't think it's the Noble Knight Master card, and I'm kind of shocked to see them stay up here. So maybe guys who have these in your trade binders didn't know these prices were up here, didn't know why. You guys can make a little bit and sell these because their market prices really don't reflect the cards, and a lot of people didn't know what was going on still. I think I've been messaged 2 or 3 times about this week, and it sold out a while ago. So either it's a re-volley or it's been this way for a while, but that was like just a week ago. So I imagine it's holding its prices overall. And then the Altar guys. So many people messaged me about it that I almost assumed some of them were people who partaked in the buyout. So I waited, and it continues to slip back down. These cards are just so new for the high-priced ones that the quantities are going to fill back up, and there's not a huge meta demand for it. I would say it's a really cool deck with a lot of interactions that people aren't going to get used to. I think it could see some hype at a regional top level. I don't know about the YCS level, but we'll wait and see. But honestly, the rest of the deck is so cheap that having two cards at the forefront with the $5 price mark isn't a big deal. if you want a fun, more casual deck that teaches you interactions in the game that are really cool. Personally, I wouldn't play this deck at a YCS, maybe a regional if I had nothing else going for me and I wanted to have some fun and spice, but it's not my cup of tea. And I think the prices going down that quickly from their market prices reflect that, and the quantities will reflect that as well that are available. So it's up to you. If you think you want to get them now, do get them now. I wouldn't stop you, but my personal suggestion is I'd pass. It's not my kind of a deck. That's just how I am. So what did you guys think of today's Market Watch? I kind of have backed off suggesting cards overall, but I wanted to lead with ones that I noticed were starting to creep up, and I wanted you guys to have a chance at. So let me know if you want me to do that more often, or if you want me to just chill on it and not do that, not stir things up, because I get people get mad and can blame Market Watch for it, but at the same time, it's your money, it's what you want to do with it, and if it, even a blind mouse could hear in all the deck profiles 3-dimensional barrier, 3-dimensional barrier, 3-dimensional barrier. That's a pretty obvious one in my book.